Welcome to Love Road, the place where we share real stories, heartfelt journeys, and powerful insights that touch both your heart and your life. If you're looking for honest conversations about love, health, and the hidden truths that often go unspoken, then you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to Love Road, hit the notification bell, and join our growing community, so you never miss a story that could change the way you see life. Have you ever wondered, at the age of 50 or 60, is self-relief really a secret to maintaining your health? Or could it be a hidden habit slowly destroying your body? Many men keep this practice to themselves, never speaking about it, yet deep inside they carry a quiet fear. Am I taking care of myself, or am I unknowingly harming my health? The truth is, this isn't just a private matter. It's wrapped in cultural taboos and old beliefs, leaving most men confused, misinformed, or even ashamed. That's why so many important facts are overlooked, while myths continue to spread. Today, I want to lift the veil on this hidden topic and bring you answers grounded in science and real medical research. 10 surprising benefits that might shock you, and 10 potential risks that few people dare to talk about. You'll soon discover that self-relief after 50 isn't simply good or bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, the outcome depends on how wisely you use it. There comes a point in life, often around the age of 50 or 60, when a man begins to question the rhythms of his own body. What once felt natural and unspoken suddenly carries a weight of doubt. Society, culture, even whispers of religion have told him that certain desires belong to youth, that intimacy with himself is shameful or unnecessary as the years pass. And yet, in the quiet of his own nights, when the world is asleep, he still feels the pulse of life, a reminder that the body has its own language, and the soul still yearns to be alive. What many never realize is that this act, so often cloaked in secrecy, can carry with it unexpected gifts. The body is not a machine that stops needing care at a certain age. Just as walking keeps the joints supple and breathing deeply keeps the lungs strong, arousal and release are a gentle form of exercise for the organ that defines masculinity. When blood flows into the tissues of the penis, it's like stretching a muscle you haven't used all day. It keeps the fibers flexible, the vessels open, and the capacity for firmness intact. It is not sin. It is maintenance, a quiet act of keeping the body awake to itself. Then there is the matter of the prostate, a gland so small and yet so vital to a man's health. Science has shown that regular release can flush away toxins, washing out what the body does not need, reducing the shadows that could one day become disease. To think that something so simple, so natural, could stand guard against cancer feels almost poetic. It is as if the body whispers, "Take care of me, and I will take care of you." The benefits reach deeper still, into places invisible to the eye. The pelvic floor, that hidden network of muscles supporting bladder, bowels, and virility, responds to release like a song. Each contraction, each surge, strengthens those fibers, protecting against incontinence, preserving control, and extending vitality. What some might dismiss as indulgence is in truth a training ground, a way to remain sovereign over one's own body. And then, perhaps most profoundly, there is the storm of hormones that rises and falls with pleasure. The weight of stress, the grinding burden of cortisol that modern life piles on every man's shoulders, begins to melt away in the afterglow. In its place comes dopamine, the spark of joy, and oxytocin, the hormone of connection and warmth. Even in solitude, the body rewards itself with a feeling of being held, of being soothed. The heart slows, the mind softens, and for a little while the chaos of the world is quiet. Sleep, too, becomes easier. How many men past midlife lie awake staring at the ceiling, their minds racing with unfinished business, regrets, or unspoken fears. Yet after release, when oxytocin lingers and prolactin floods the system, the body drifts more willingly into the depth of rest. It is a sleep that heals, that restores. And in those moments of closeness with oneself, awareness sharpens. A man who knows the rhythms of his own body becomes attuned to subtle changes. A lump that should not be there, a tension in the groin, a sign that something is not quite right. What could be dismissed as indulgence may, in truth, become a private checkup, a first line of defense for health. To speak of these things is to challenge years of silence, to invite men into a new understanding of themselves. Self-relief, after all, is not simply an escape. It can be a bridge, to health, to balance, to a sense of being alive even as the years accumulate. It is not youth that makes a man whole, but his willingness to care for himself with honesty and respect. In this act done consciously, he may find not shame but strength, not guilt but grace. For every light, there is a shadow, and for every benefit, a warning waits quietly in the background. Self-relief, while natural and sometimes even healing, can also turn into something darker when it is misused, when it shifts from balance into excess, or when it becomes a substitute for the intimacy that only real human connection can provide. The first risk is subtle, yet perhaps the most dangerous: isolation. A man who turns too often inward may begin to lose his desire to reach outward. Instead of craving the warmth of a partner's embrace, he finds himself satisfied in solitude. Over time, this can erode relationships, making closeness feel unnecessary, even uncomfortable. What once was a gentle act of self-care transforms into a wall, a barrier that separates him from the very people who could nurture his spirit. Then there are the physical consequences. The body is tender, and though resilient, it is not invincible. When self-relief is approached with force rather than care, small tears in the skin can appear, leading to irritation or even infection. Some men find themselves sitting in awkward positions, pressing nerves in the pelvis, until numbness creeps in like a warning they choose to ignore. Pain, tingling, or discomfort becomes the price for a habit once thought harmless. Another danger is one few expect: desensitization. The brain is an adaptable organ, always learning, always adjusting. But if it learns to respond only to a single rhythm, a certain grip, or a specific speed, then all other forms of stimulation may lose their power. A partner's touch, once electric, may feel dull. The excitement of intimacy can fade into frustration, not because of the partner, but because the body has trained itself into a narrow box of sensation. More concerning still is how self-relief can mask deeper health issues. If a man notices he can only achieve firmness alone, but not in the arms of someone he loves, this could be more than just psychology. It may be the earliest whisper of heart disease, diabetes, or hormonal imbalance. Yet many dismiss it, choosing the comfort of solitary release rather than confronting the possibility of illness. By ignoring the sign, they allow a silent threat to grow unchecked. For some, the practice becomes less about physical release and more about emotional escape. Stress, boredom, anger. These heavy emotions can drive a man to seek solace in his body's quick relief. But when it becomes the only outlet, the only tool for calming the storm inside, it transforms into an unhealthy crutch. Guilt often follows, especially in cultures where self-relief is shrouded in taboo. Raised on the belief that it is dirty, forbidden, or shameful, men carry the weight of secrecy, torn between desire and self-condemnation. And though not always discussed openly, fertility can also be affected. Frequent release, day after day, can temporarily reduce sperm quality and concentration. For men still hoping to bring life into the world, this small detail becomes a barrier to dreams of fatherhood. While not permanent, it is a reminder that every action has a rhythm, and too much of anything can disturb the harmony of the body. Perhaps the most modern danger of all lies in the glowing screen. Pornography, consumed in excess, can rewire expectations. Images too perfect, scenes too exaggerated, stories too unreal become the lens through which a man views intimacy. When reality does not match the fantasy, disappointment grows. A partner's genuine affection may feel inadequate compared to an illusion. Dependency sets in, feeding on itself, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. So yes, there are risks, real, quiet, insidious risks. None of them mean that self-relief is evil or forbidden. Rather, they remind us that even the most natural act requires awareness, tenderness, and restraint. To ignore these shadows is to invite imbalance, but to face them honestly is to walk a path of wisdom. Life has a way of teaching us that nothing is ever purely black or white. We grow up believing that some things are absolutely right and others are absolutely wrong, but as the years pass, we begin to realize that truth often lives in the middle ground. The act of self-relief is no different. It is not the angel some claim it to be, nor the demon others condemn. It is a tool, simple, powerful, and deeply human. Like any tool, its value lies not in its existence, but in the hands that use it. Awareness is the key that unlocks its meaning. A man who touches his own body with shame in his heart will only strengthen the chains of guilt. But a man who approaches the same act with honesty, balance, and self-respect may find a quiet companion on his journey through aging. The difference is not in the act itself, but in the way it is understood, embraced, and integrated into life. Imagine a man in his 50s. His body no longer responds with the fire of youth, but his desire for intimacy has not disappeared. If he sees self-relief as a small form of exercise, a ritual of care, He can use it to preserve blood flow, maintain function, and keep his spirit alive. Done with moderation, it becomes part of his health routine, as natural as walking or meditation. In those moments, he is not escaping life, he is nurturing it. Now imagine the same man without awareness. He turns to self-relief again and again, not from choice but from compulsion. Instead of seeking connection, he hides from it. Instead of healing his stress, he buries it under fleeting pleasure. The very thing that could have been a medicine transforms into a poison. His body begins to ache, his relationships fade, and his heart grows heavy with isolation. The act itself has not changed, but his way of approaching it has changed everything. That is why balance matters. Like food, like wine, like any pleasure the world offers, too much of it tilts the scale. Awareness asks us to pause, to listen to the body, to sense when desire is healthy and when it becomes an escape. Balance reminds us that self-relief should never replace the warmth of another's hand, the intimacy of shared breath, or the bond of love. It can support, but it cannot substitute. There is also a deeper beauty in approaching this with mindfulness. To know oneself intimately is to live with less fear. A man who pays attention to his body is more likely to notice when something is wrong. He will sense when his strength is fading, when his health is shifting, when he needs to seek help. Awareness turns self-relief into a conversation with the body, a dialogue of care rather than silence. And so the message is simple yet profound. It is not about rejecting or glorifying this act. It is about reclaiming it as a conscious choice. With awareness, it becomes a friend that supports health, a reminder that life and desire still flow strongly even in later years. Without awareness, it becomes a chain that binds, a habit that steals energy instead of giving it. In the end, what matters most is not the act itself, but the spirit behind it. Awareness turns shadows into lessons and transforms guilt into wisdom. Balance keeps the body alive while keeping the soul free. And perhaps that is the most powerful secret of all, that even in something so private, so personal, lies a chance to live with more dignity, more vitality, and more grace. Now, let me turn this over to you, because this conversation is not just about science or research. It's about real lives, real feelings, and real experiences. After hearing all of this, what do you think? Were you more surprised by the list of benefits, or by the hidden risks? Do you feel that society has made this subject more confusing than it needs to be? Or perhaps you've had your own silent questions for years, the ones you never dared to say out loud. I'd love to know, if you are over 50, do you see self-relief as a friend to your health, or more as a habit you're unsure about? And if you're younger, how do you think these lessons might shape the way you see intimacy and self-care in the future? Write your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. Your perspective might help someone else who is struggling with the very same questions. And remember, there are no right or wrong answers here, only shared experiences. Together, we can break the silence, lift the weight of shame, and bring more clarity and compassion to this important part of life. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to remember one simple truth. Self-relief is not a question of right or wrong, good or bad. It is a tool, and like any tool, its power depends on how you choose to use it. With awareness, balance, and self-respect, it can be a quiet ally for your health, your confidence, and even your peace of mind. Without awareness, it can slip into excess, replacing real intimacy with habits that drain rather than restore. So take this with you. Listen to your body, respect its rhythms, and never be afraid to care for yourself. Do not let shame silence you, and do not let fear dictate your choices. This is about you, your well-being, and the way you honor both your body and your spirit as you grow older. If this video touched you, if it gave you clarity or comfort, I invite you to like this video, subscribe to Love Road, and ring the bell so you won't miss the next story we share. And please share this with someone who might need to hear it. Sometimes a single conversation can change how a person sees their own life. In our next video, we will go even deeper into the hidden side of intimacy, the surprising power of human touch after 50. Why does a gentle hand on the shoulder, or a warm embrace, sometimes heal more than medicine? And how can couples rediscover connection even after years together? That is a journey you will not want to miss. Until then, take care of yourself, be kind to your body, and let love guide your path.